Hi, I'm S. Chain. Welcome to SCHAINXBO. On behalf of the Institute of Supply Chain Management, I welcome all professionals to this milestone event. Today, we share why India is a supply chain superpower, a journey from ancient guilds to automated hubs. Discover our epic odyssey. Let's connect and witness India orchestrating a global comeback. Welcome to the future. Welcome to SCHAINXBO.
Everything you touch has a secret history. Before it reached your hands, it lived 1,000 lives. It was raw earth in a mine, a fiber on a plantation, a line of code in a distant office, and a passenger on a ship crossing the silent expanse of the Pacific. This is the supply chain, the invisible circulatory system of our planet. Most people only notice it when it breaks. But for those who look closer, the supply chain is the ultimate map of human ambition. It is a 5,000-year-old story of how we learned to bridge the gap between need and have. Today, we journey through the ages, from the ancient caravans of the East to the automated ports of tomorrow, to see how one nation, India, was once the world's heartbeat, lost its rhythm, and is now orchestrating a global comeback. Long before the modern world, the foundations of global trade were laid in the dust of the Indus Valley. At Lahal, the world's first artificial dockyard, India became an industrial hub, exporting etched carnelian and fine cotton distant shores of Mesopotamia. As the Vedic period dawned, this evolved into a resilient pastoral trade, moving timber and copper across the heartland, setting the stage for a continental revolution. By the Maurya dynasty, the supply chain became a state-controlled engine. The Uttarapatha Road was carved out to move iron and grain with military precision. Then came the Gupta Golden Age, where the true heroes emerged, the Srini. These powerful guilds were the world's first flexible manufacturers. Part bank, part training center. They ensured that a merchant in Rome could receive the exact pattern of muslin he desired, crafted with mass precision. In the south, the Chola dynasty mastered the ocean. They didn't just sail, they orchestrated. Using massive trading corporations like the Ainaviravar, they controlled the sea lanes to China and Southeast Asia. This wasn't a linear path, it was a social network built on tribal trust and the seasonal pulse of the monsoon winds, moving massive volumes of spices and textiles that the world craved. The Mughal era saw India become a global manufacturing forge, contributing a staggering 25% of global GDP. Specialized contractors called Banjaras moved industrial volumes of indigo and silk across state-monitored roads. With the Hundi system, credit traveled faster than the goods themselves. India wasn't just a participant. At a time when India fueled 25% of global GDP, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj revolutionized trade through a decentralized nodal network, integrating mountain strongholds with coastal hubs to secure the Konkan commerce lanes. A coordinated system of forts, ports, and naval patrols that integrated inland coastal control with a standardized, pass-based trade security regime. This agile supply chain bypassed foreign naval monopolies, turning narrow creeks into secret logistical corridors that funneled salt, silk, and spices to global markets in Persia and Europe. Simultaneously, the Vijayanagara Empire flourished as a global commercial hub, dominating the rice and iron trade to become one of the wealthiest kingdoms on earth, proving that a perfect supply chain was the forge of India's economic superpower. In a world where empires are crushed within 100 to 200 years, India was the engine of the world for 5 millennia. 1498 was the big bang of modern logistics. When Vasco da Gama bypassed the Silk Road by sailing around Africa, he didn't just find a route, he found a way to monopolize the chain. This gave birth to the Chartered Company. Think of the British East India Company as the Amazon of the 1700s, but with its own private army. They realized that to maximize profit, they had to control the entire chain. This is what economists call vertical integration. They moved from being traders who bought goods to rulers who dictated production. After the Battle of Plassey in 1757, the supply chain was weaponized. The company began transfer pricing, buying Indian goods with Indian tax money and selling them in Europe for pure profit. The collaborative network of the medieval world was replaced by a predatory, one-way extraction machine. This system ensured that the wealth of an entire subcontinent was funneled directly into the vaults of London, creating a new corporate world order. It was the first time the supply chain was used not just for trade, but as a weapon of absolute economic dominance. The 19th century brought the Industrial Revolution. Steamships and railways meant you could move raw materials at a speed that artisanal guilds couldn't match. This was the era of Fordism, standardization, and high-volume, low-cost production. But for India, this progress was a guillotine. Colonial policies were designed to ensure India could never compete. High tariffs were placed on Indian textiles entering Britain, while British machine-made cloth flooded India duty-free. The railways, which we often see as a gift of modernization, were actually the shackles of the supply chain, designed to drain raw cotton out of the hinterlands and dump British finished goods into every village. India was forcibly transformed from the world's greatest manufacturer into a captive market and a raw material plantation. By 1947, the 24% share of world GDP had withered to a mere 4%. The heartbeat had almost stopped. Independence in 1947 gave India its soul back, but the global supply chain was changing again. In 1956, an American trucker named Malcolm McLean invented the box. The shipping container is arguably the most important invention of the 20th century. By standardizing the size of cargo, the cost of moving goods dropped by over 90%. This created the global factory. It no longer mattered where you were. It only mattered how well you were connected to the chain. While India initially looked inward with protectionist policies, the rest of the world was becoming just in time. However, by the 1980s, a new layer was added to the chain: information technology. Supply chains were no longer just about moving steel boxes. They were about moving data. This was India's second chance. Even before we modernized our ports, we modernized our minds, becoming the digital spine of global corporations. 1991 was India's logistics of the spirit. Facing a bankruptcy crisis, the nation liberalized. We dismantled the license Raj and plugged back into the global grid. But we did something unique. While China became the world's factory, India became the world's back office. We created a service supply chain. If a bank in New York processed a loan, the logistics of that data happened in Bangalore. This integration was swift and deep. However, the physical supply chain, the roads, the ports, the power still lagged behind. For 2 decades, India was a digital giant but a physical laggard. But the seeds of a broader resurgence were being sown. We realized that to become a $30 trillion economy, we couldn't just move data, we had to move the world's goods again. The 2020 pandemic exposed a dangerous vulnerability. It proved that global supply chains, obsessively engineered only for cost optimization, were fragile. The new global mantra is resilience and diversification. This is India's moment. Under the Atmanirbhar Bharat vision, India is transforming into a global manufacturing hub. We aren't just making phones. We are building the entire ecosystem, from semiconductors to EV batteries. The Gati Shakti Master Plan is synchronizing railways, roads, and ports into a single, seamless machine. By 2047, the goal is a $30 trillion economy. We are moving toward Industry 5.0, where AI and human empathy work together to create a supply chain that isn't just fast, but sustainable. The journey is coming full circle. 500 years ago, India was the destination. Today, it is the driver. The Great Link is no longer a story of the past. It is the blueprint for our future. From the Silk Road to the digital road, the heartbeat of the world is once again found in the spirit of India. Visualizing the scale of the $30 trillion blueprint through massive infrastructure growth and urban development. The synergy of Gati Shakti in action. A future built on the pillars of speed, sustainability, and global leadership. India, the heartbeat of the global supply chain. The blueprint for a resilient tomorrow. Every year, nearly 30% of the world's oil passes through a narrow strip of water, the Strait of Hormuz. Whoever controls these lanes controls the world's economy. For India, a nation that imports over 80% of its crude oil, This strait is not just geography. It is a lifeline. Quietly. Deliberately. Without headlines, the Indian Navy has been doing something remarkable. It has been personally escorting Indian merchant ships through some of the world's most dangerous waters. Since the Red Sea crisis disrupted global shipping in late 2023, the Indian Navy deployed warships to the Arabian Sea, not just for protection, but as a strategic signal to the world. With Houthi attacks threatening commercial shipping, global giants like Maersk and MSC rerouted around Africa, adding 10 to 14 days to every voyage. India chose a different path. Indian naval vessels began shadowing merchant ships, providing real-time intelligence, deterrence, and rapid response. Over 100 ships have been escorted. 0 Indian vessels attacked. The economic stakes? Enormous. India's trade through this region exceeds $150 billion annually. Energy, fertilizers, electronics all flow through these lanes. A disruption here is a disruption to every Indian household. But this is about more than oil. India is rewriting its role in global affairs. From a passive observer of maritime security to an active, indispensable guardian of open sea lanes. India has coordinated with rest of the world's navy too, especially Russia, Southeast Asia, and Australia. Building trust, building partnerships. India is no longer just a market. It is a maritime power. The Strait of Hormuz will remain contested. Supply chains will remain fragile for now. But somewhere between Iran and Oman, an Indian warship is on watch. And that changes everything. Securing the future of a rising global leader. The silent guardians of the global economy. Ensuring every shipment reaches its destination. Indian Navy securing India's future at sea. From the strategic nodes of our storied past to the digital corridors of tomorrow, India is reclaiming its throne as the world's most resilient and responsible supply chain superpower. This transformation is not just a vision, it is happening right here. This is where India's next chapter as a global powerhouse begins at SC Chain Expo, the ultimate supply chain exhibition.